You're listening to Kizuki, the podcast. I'm Mae Yoshikawa, and I define the Japanese concept of Kizuki as the following. Kizuki. 1. A moment of epiphany, an aha of realization or insight which opens the knower to a new dimension of truth that was formerly unknown. 2. Steps in an incremental growth of awareness, resulting in a movement from ignorance to greater awareness of the bigger picture. A kind of knowing that cannot be undone, that cannot be unrealized. As a longtime yoga and meditation practitioner, a world traveler, and curious self-explorer, I'm obsessed with Kizukis. Listen on each week for inspiring and enlightening stories that may just tip you over for your next aha. On this week's episode, How Not to Judge Your Neighbor. My TEDx talk has been out on YouTube now for a couple of weeks, and I recently found out it made it to the top 10 most watched global TEDx talks released in January 2026. My goodness, I feel deeply honored. Truly. And you know what else? I might even be enjoying this even more than the ranking. It's the comments. Yup, I read them all. I mean, there are people on YouTube in my comments discussing Kizuki through philosophy and various other kinds of theories. Someone mentioned Edward Said and Orientalism. I confess I had to look that up. And then there are others who arrive from completely different worlds. My favorite comment of all came from someone who wrote, "She low-key reminds me of Juno from Overwatch." And of course I had no idea what that meant, so I looked that one up too. Apparently, Overwatch is a massively popular game, and Juno is a new character in Overwatch 2. She's kind of Asian looking, and apparently she's some kind of earth-healing Martian. Now, how cool is that, okay? I felt deeply honored. And isn't it funny that once upon a time, I might have felt judged by this comment or any one of the other comments. Or I might have judged back. I might have reduced what they said or made it mean something about being misunderstood. I felt none of that. Instead, I just felt this big resonance and gratitude. I mean, here were intellectuals, gamers, skeptics, fans, critics, philosophers, and lay people from all over the world, finding their way to the same message, each through their own doorway. Gosh, I find that to be so exciting. I just feel genuinely full of thanks. Because look, here is evidence that resonance, message, doesn't require sameness. Some of you might know this, but in music, there is this concept of what's called baiyong in Japanese. I believe the English word is overtones. It's like you can play the same note and the same note in different octaves, even when they're not identical, they vibrate together. They belong to the same field of sound. Different frequencies, same truth. Now, that led me to think about judgment, because judgment often comes from hierarchy, an imagined hierarchy, I might add. It's a subtle, often unspoken sense of less than or better than. And it's this feeling you get A lot of times it's not even verbal. And it's a sense that springs from separation. Because at the basis of that is, I am separate from you. So we judge what feels unfamiliar or far from us. We judge what doesn't mirror us back. And that reminded me of a story from one of Paulo Coelho's books. It's been years, so I don't even remember which book it was. But there's this moment, I think it's like one of the opening scenes, where the main character is kind of slightly looking down on mechanics. They are manual laborers. Their world feels smaller, simpler, and less refined. Until, of course, the car breaks down. So you have to open the hood and get under it, except the main character has no idea what they're looking at or how to fix a car. Then suddenly, the mechanic becomes essential, wise, life-saving even. In other words, you can judge the mechanic until you need the mechanic. Then you're grateful. Grateful not just for their skill, but for their place in the world. Every person is holding a role we cannot see from the outside. Every world runs on forms of intelligence we may never need to master ourselves. Whether it's intellectual labor, manual labor, creative labor, emotional labor, none of it is interchangeable. All of it is essential. So maybe the Kizuki here is not about correcting our judgments. It's simply noticing them. Noticing the moment we rank less than, better than. The moment we separate from others. The moment we decide who is like us and who is not. Or who we're comfortable with and who gets under our skin. Because in that noticing, we give something a chance to soften. Yeah, our perspective softens. Because awareness dissolves judgment without force. How about that for how we stop judging our neighbors? Not by trying to be better, non-judgmental people, but by realizing that we don't really want sameness all around us. After all, we might need a mechanic one day. I love knowing this. The world works because of people we don't understand yet. Thank you for listening. If you missed the recent Kizuki Journaling online session, the on-demand replay is now available at maey.live under On Demand. And if you'd like to be the first to know when the next live session opens, you can sign up for my weekly newsletter at the bottom of maey.live or kizukijournaling.com.